Hey guys, it's GoldenSteelTV here. This is the first gaming video of this year and of this decade. Starting off with a GTA 5 video. The actual first video of 2020 was the local forecast video, which went for Dallas, Texas, in which I tracked down a storm that produced a tornado warning which can be seen on that video, and whenever a warning gets issued on the weather info system I have, the WeatherStar 4000 emulator, the alarm will go off 4 times if there's a tornado warning, a severe thunderstorm warning, or a flash flood warning, or any other warning. It's meant to get your attention, and yeah. I should do more local forecast videos for this year. I should cover blizzards, tornado outbreaks, hurricanes, polar vortexes, and more. Okay, I should do a Minecraft video after this one. Alright. We're gonna go explore the lake to search for plane crash wreckage. Alright. We're gonna get to football right now. The NFL playoffs rolled in, and in the NFC playoffs, the Saints had another heartbreaking loss, which was against the Vikings, who ironically beat them with Minnesota Miracle, and it adds more salt to the wound, as they're still reeling from the no pass interference call in the 2019 NFC Championship game, and it's caused pass interference rules to change, and now pass interference is challengeable. But I also believe that it should be reviewed as well. You know, the Vikings did end up lose in the playoffs by getting defeated by the San Francisco 49ers. It's the fighter jets passing by. Alright. Meanwhile, the Seahawks beat the Eagles, and then they got eliminated by the Packers. Okay. The 49ers and the Packers met at the NFC Championship game, which the 49ers won, and it will be their first trip to the Super Bowl since 2013. And it should be and that Super Bowl should also be their first time that they could win since 1995, when they have Steve Young and Jerry Rice. And in the AFC playoffs, the Houston Texans beat the Buffalo Bills. And then the next game they blew their 24-point lead, and they would never lead again, as the Chiefs made a huge comeback, and they beat the Texans. Meanwhile, the Patriots got eliminated from the wild card, and it's the first time that they will not reach the AFC playoffs in the AFC conference game since 2010. And the Titans beat them, and they have a pretty good running game, frequently using Derrick Henry in most situations, and their quarterback Ryan Tannehill only passed the ball sometimes, but only if it was absolutely necessary. Alright, we're down here to look for plane crash wreckage, and I hope there's something valuable I can find right here. But it's about to get darker here underwater, as the sun has already set, and it's gonna make it pretty difficult for me to see underwater. Alright, I do have a flashlight on my scuba gear, but expect the seafloor to go dark underwater, because right now it's already dark. Okay. And the Titans also beat the Ravens in the divisional round in an incredible upset. the Ravens were heavily favored to win, and the Titans were the underdogs. They were also the underdogs when they entered the AFC Championship game against the Chiefs, which they lost. I found an RPG, and the Chiefs will make it to the Super Bowl for the first time since 1970, which was also the only time they ever won a Super Bowl in their 60 years of existence, since 1960, when they were known as the Dallas Texans, before they moved to Kansas City and renamed the Chiefs in 1963. So that's to give you some context on the team's background and history. And the Chiefs and the Super Bowl 54 matchup between the Chiefs and the 49ers should be more interesting than last year between the Patriots and Rams, which was mostly uninteresting and mostly boring to watch. But this year's Super Bowl should be more interesting and fun and exciting to watch than last year, and I hope it's like that. I'll talk more about the Super Bowl in another video, which should be out the same weekend the Super Bowl goes on. Alright. Some other stuff in football. The Carolina Panthers linebacker Luke Kuechly announced his retirement abruptly, and he announced it through a video that got uploaded onto YouTube. And he stated that while he did love the game of football, he said that he didn't have the mentality to play football anymore. It's mainly because of the injuries he sustained over the past couple of years, including a concussion which made him cry on the bench. And he did make a couple of Pro Bowls. And is he a Hall of Famer? Sure he is. But no matter how long his career lasted, he is a definite Hall of Famer. Okay. Another news in football is Antonio Brown. He had another incident again, and this time he recorded himself on Instagram Live of himself talking shit about his baby mama, and accused her of stealing one of his cars. And then after the video got uploaded onto Instagram, the police decided to cut ties with him, and his agent also cut off ties with him too. And to be honest, I don't like talking about AB. I actually don't like talking about his antics. I hate having to talk about it because he's a clown. Why should I talk about it when I have some other stuff to talk about? If only he wasn't acting like shit, and if he got his shit together, perhaps I wouldn't be even talking about him, probably. So he does need some help. But some people have defended him, saying that he has CTE, which is pretty evident from the hit that he sustained, that he got from Vontaze Burfict in the AFC wildcard game against the Bengals. And he had he was knocked out and was concussed, and that definitely can explain why his personality changed with that one single hit. He was never the same afterwards, and that's to make everything fair, but that's not fair still. But does he need help? Yes. But does he have CTE? I don't know, because CTE can't be diagnosed until after your death. It can't be diagnosed during your lifetime, and the symptoms can only kick in if you suffered multiple concussions and head injuries. Alright, we're gonna get back up to the surface. And whether or not he has CTE, AB should stop doing some stupid shit and get his act together. I don't care what's going on with him, whether even after dealing with the lawsuit that got him out of the league, he's still not with the league. He hasn't been picked up by another team, but if he wants to play in the NFL again, he should get his act together, stop doing some stupid shit, and get some help. So, that's all I can say about AB. I don't have time to talk about him anymore, because of the stupid shit he does that makes me talk about him. Okay, enough of football. We can have more stuff to talk about, you know. The local forecast video I did this January, it's part of a series of local forecast videos I've done using the WeatherStar 4000 emulator, and if you want to download it, click on the link to the download in the description below. Okay, as I also put the link on all my local forecast videos as well to let everyone know where they should download it. And I hope you'll enjoy it if you're actually gonna download it, and hope you'll like it. Okay, Julian Edelman, Too Late for Goodbyes. Okay, Julian Lennon is the son of John Lennon of the Beatles. Like his father, Julian has had some success as a musician in his own right. And that song, Too Late for Goodbyes, came out a couple of years after his father's death in 1980. And I would love to talk about music here, you know. Alright. We could talk about what's my favorite music. As I stated in the previous Minecraft video, I stated that I liked Spanish music, but most of the time I'm into classic rock. But lately I've been getting into reggae, including Bob Marley himself, yes. And listening to reggae actually helps me relax and feel good because of the vibes that it gives me off, you know. And after a bad day or stressful day, or after some shit happened to me, I can count on reggae music and get on with it and put that music on and make myself feel good after something stupid happened that day, or if I ever have a stressful or bad day. And yeah, it's better. Yeah, it also helps drown out my sorrows better than drinking alcohol. Because now I feel so good. Instead of having to drink and die of liver failure, I could just listen endlessly to reggae, and it could make me feel good for hours and hours and hours. Right. I can't wait, Stevie Nicks. California Soul. I've never been to California myself. I've been to a couple of other states outside of Illinois. The states I've been to outside of Illinois are Indiana, Wisconsin, Missouri, Michigan, Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Massachusetts, Florida, and that's pretty much it. I should visit more states like New York, Ohio, Georgia, Tennessee, and Iowa, Minnesota, and so many more. Alright, that's the next episode by Dr. Dre featuring Snoop Dogg, also, which is best known for the closing line, "Smoke weed every day," which is ironic because starting New Year's Day, weed became legal in my state of Illinois, which means if you're living in Illinois, you are now allowed to you are finally allowed to smoke weed recreationally and medicinally. And would I smoke weed? Maybe, but only if I'm suffering from seizures and cancer. It actually helps kill cancer cells and can actually cure seizures better than chemotherapy and other pills. Because chemotherapy is very expensive for most families, and it puts a burden on their finances, and eventually families go bankrupt after spending thousands of dollars on chemotherapy, and that's not a pretty good outlook for them. So smoking weed is much cheaper than having to go through rounds of chemotherapy when you're suffering from cancer. You know? Alright. We're gonna go change his clothes and go back to Los Santos. And, there are a couple of weed shops available and open near where I live. I'm not gonna tell you which town I live, so I'm only gonna say that I live in Chicago, so none of you creepy stalkers go after me. Alright. We're gonna go back to Los Santos. Alright. Alright. One other topic that I would love to talk about. Let's get back to the local forecast videos that I've done since last year. Alright, it's been almost 1 year since I downloaded WeatherStar 4000 emulator, and initially it started off modestly, as it only had a few songs, mostly with vocals, and then early on it started to include Minecraft music, because it was royalty free technically, and you don't have to pay any royalties to the guy who made Minecraft music, C418, and but I still have to give credit to him every time I do a local forecast video featuring his music, and but nonetheless, I'm able to get away with using his music, and nobody has gone after me because of that, and I'm very happy with how it's turned out. But then, and then a lot of new changes came with the new system, and in my recent local forecast video, it started to include new music that does not have any vocals in it. It's mainly because starting New Year's Day, the playlist changed to now include smooth jazz instead of songs with vocals. It's just so the singing doesn't encroach with the narration that's often featured in my local forecast segments. And I'm happy with how it's turned out so far. I'm loving the smooth jazz music that I put out on the playlist on my WeatherStar 4000 emulator, and I'm very happy with it. I currently don't have permission to upload some of the smooth jazz songs I have on my playlist, but when I do get permission, I'll put up some more for you guys and to make you guys happy for once. Alright. Straight Up Menace by MC8, which is a song featured in a movie called Menace to Society, which has a sad ending. It was on Netflix for a while, until it got removed. Big Log, Robert Plant. For those of you who don't know, Robert Plant is a singer for Led Zeppelin, and after they broke up in 1980 due to John Bonham's death, Robert Plant embarked on a solo career, which includes one of the songs that became a hit in 1983 called Big Log. And he continues to tour across the world, and he's still going strong. Okay. Alright. I almost forgot. In basketball, we had the we're gonna have the NBA All-Star Game in February. Voting has closed, and I've already casted my vote for the All-Star roster, which include. I think it's a vote for Luka Doncic, LeBron, cause why not? I think I also voted for Anthony Davis or Joel Embiid, Giannis, whose last name I still can't pronounce correctly. Please tell me how to pronounce his last name, and I'll love you guys forever if you do. And the All-Star Game is gonna be on TNT, which means if you're broke and don't have cable, unfortunately, you're gonna have to watch it illegally, like on Facebook Live or on a illegal YouTube stream, you know. All right, enough of basketball. We're gonna go back to the topic I haven't finished talking about. The WeatherStar 4000 emulator. How did I create it? No, I was actually the consumer of it. Somebody created it, and I downloaded it, and therefore I am the consumer of the system. Alright, we're at the strip club where, excuse my voice, where Trevor lives when he goes down to Los Santos. Alright. If I'm saying strip club, I'm not kidding you. It's the actual strip club. You know, he has no bed. He sleeps on the couch. And would he build a house inside a strip club? Well, not really, but maybe he could buy a bed to accommodate his sleep needs, you know? Alright, it's about to be sunrise, and it's early in the morning. Alright. I won't show you the actual strippers, but I'm gonna show you what's inside the strip club. Alright. There's no music playing, because of course, copyright. Alright. The WeatherStar 4000 emulator came about in like the early 2000s. That's Wade getting some hose, and he's already enjoying it. The WeatherStar 4000 emulator came about in the early 2000s when a couple guys wanted to recreate what they had seen in their childhood, which was of the original WeatherStar 4000 system that was shown on the Weather Channel in the 1990s. And the original WeatherStar 4000 system came out in 1990 after years of development, with newer graphics that got introduced sometime in the 80s, and it continued to run until the WeatherStar 4000 continued to run in most states and cities until a new system came along, which had better graphics and was much better than the older system in 1999. The WeatherStar 4000 continued to be used by cable companies that couldn't afford the newer and better system, and the WeatherStar 4000 continued to be in use until 2014, when it was finally discontinued altogether, when the Weather Channel decided to pull the plug on analog systems. Remember, this was the 90s. Everything was analog back then, nothing was digital, until today. And therefore, the replacement is of the newer system that's more contemporary and more better, but some people who are nostalgic still love the old system that they used to see in their childhood, and they sought to create a system that would recreate what they had seen in their childhood and hence the WeatherStar 4000 emulator. It's gone through updates over the years, and it continues to be enjoyed by those nostalgic people like me. I didn't actually see the system before in my childhood, but I was curious about it, and then one day I came across the emulator, and I didn't hesitate to download it, and I downloaded the emulator, and I love it, and I enjoy it, and I will continue to use it. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.